Hello everyone. This part we will be discussing the extract-based questions of the chapter, The Rat Trap. So I advise you to open your books and find the lines of the extract. It will give you a better understanding of the questions discussed further. So the first extract starts with, no one can imagine how sad, and it ends with, it had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. You may pause the video and find the extract that I'm talking about. So the first question is, how does a vagabond plodding along the road find life? So this is the very line that describes it, that this rat trap that life is, according to vagabond, our life is nothing but the phenomena that all of us are trapped in a large rat trap, and this rat trap, it had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. इसमें ऑथर ये कहना चाहते हैं कि ये रैट ट्रैप जो हम जिसमें फंस चुके हैं, ये था ही इसीलिए कि हमारे लिए जो ग्लिटरी थिंग्स हैं वो सेटअप किए जाएं और हम उनसे टेम्प्ट हों and we get attracted by them and we run after them. This rat trap that we are in, it was nothing but it was set for not any other purpose but to set baits for us. Why did Vagabond find life to be a rat trap? He finds life to be a rat trap because he finds such gloomy thoughts, such sad thoughts, because no one has ever been kind to him. All of the people shunned him away and nobody treated him right. So this sad idea, this gloomy idea came to his mind of life being a rat trap. He finds pleasure in thinking like this. And he himself was a rat trap seller. He was in he saw rat traps day and night. He was all on his mind was to sell his rat traps. That may be the reason why he found life to be a rat trap, because he was well aware with the concept of a rat trap. So the thing that mattered most in his life, he sets up this. He sets up a very unlikely contrast with, that is, his rat traps. He compared these rat traps with the human life. This is a metaphor used by the author. This is why the vagabond found life to be a rat trap, because he thought that all of the rich people who have many things like wealth and big homes, comfortable lives, they found they are trapped in a vicious circle of getting more and more and more of these. Just because nothing good was happening in his life, he felt that everyone is trapped in a big rat trap. Life is nothing but a rat trap that is there to set baits for people. Next question is, what does the word monotonous mean? So word monotonous is depicts something that is boring, and it depicts something that happens again and again and again, and it appears boring. Monotonous is basically boring and recurring, which appears to be boring. The same thing, if we do again and again and again, it appears boring. So when we say that someone has a monotonous lifestyle, we say that he has a very same lifestyle. He has the same lifestyle, and for years and years and years, and this is very boring. So the next question is, what does left to his own meditations mean? This means that the peddler, he got into his own thought cycles. He starts thinking of these philosophical thoughts by his own. So he thinks about all of these metaphors, all of the contrasts that he sets on his own. Then he is walking around the town selling rat traps. So he's left to his own meditations. He's left to his own thoughts. He's left to his own thought cycles, as and when he walks around the town selling rat traps. So that is, he is in his own league, he is in his own world. This is what left to his own meditations mean. So the next extract is, as he walked along with the money, and it ends with, now his own turn had come. So the first question is, why did the peddler feel pleased? Now, as you have known by now that the peddler had stolen Crofter's money, and just after that he went into the forest to escape. So on this smartness, that not taking the public highway and rather taking the forest to escape, was the smartness he was pleased with. His action of not taking the public highway and taking the forest after stealing the Crofter's money, this smartness made the peddler feel pleased upon himself. Question 2. What caused him no difficulty during the early hours? As he was walking in the early hours, that was in around afternoon. So when he was walking around in the forest in the early hours in the afternoon, he found no difficulty because it was the time of broad daylight. There was no chance that he would lose his path. So that is why the early hours didn't cause him any difficulty. Next question is, how had he fallen prey to a rat trap? Obviously, the peddler had fallen into a rat trap, the same rat trap that he was talking about in the starting of the lesson. He fell into a rat trap himself because he ran after the money. He became greedy and he ran after the 30 kronas that the crofter had shown him. So now the bait that he got tempted because of was the 30 kronas that the crofter shown him. Because of that bait, he stole the 30 kronas from by getting into the crofter's home illegally, and he got stuck into a rat trap, that is the forest. He lost his way. He felt as if his end has came. So this is why he had fallen prey to a rat trap. He himself got greedy and his thoughts proved to be right for himself. He describes the whole forest as a huge rat trap. The rat trap in which he had been caged. Now there is no way out. This is the endless trap, and he cannot come out of this on his own. Now the next extract starts with, honorable and noble miss, and it ends with, because in that way he caught power to clear himself. Now this, by reading these sentences, we come to know that this is the content of the letter that the peddler had wrote to Edla. So according to this, we'll answer the questions. Question 1. To whom does the words refer to? As I said, the words, that is the words of the letter, they are addressed to Edla, Ironmaster's daughter. Question 2. How did the speaker find the power to clear himself? Now this phrase, the power to clear himself, it means that to justify himself, to prove himself worthy of being a good person. So the speaker, that is the vagabond, he found the power to clear himself because Edla was so kind to him. She trusted him and she let him spend a night at her home, despite her father being against it. So that is how the speaker found the power to justify himself and to prove himself worthy of being called a captain, the captain which he was misinterpreted for. Question 3. What gift had been left by the speaker? Now the speaker had left a rat trap for Edla. It was a very dirty rat trap, very ugly looking rat trap, which was left by the peddler. And this rat trap, it contained a letter written by the peddler, and it also contained the 30 kroner that the peddler had stolen from the crofter. So the on the top of that, the biggest gift that the speaker had left for Edla was him being an improved person. him giving the promise that yes, I have left this worldly rat trap and I'm no more in search of money, and I'm no more a thief, and I'm no more greedy. So this is the biggest gift that the speaker left for Edla. That is, he was a changed person because of her kindness. Now, what is the name of the chapter and its author? Now the name of the chapter is The Rat Trap, and the author is Selma Lagerlöf. Next extract starts with, one dark evening as he was trudging along the road, and it ends with, an old man without wife or child was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. So the first question is, why was he greeted with sour faces every time? So now he is the peddler which is being talked about. So peddler was greeted with sour faces every time because, first of all, because of his unkept appearance, and secondly, because of the fact that he was a peddler, he was a vagabond, he didn't have a permanent home and a permanent job. So that is why he was greeted with sour faces. Usually, this is a pattern in society that those who are poor, those who are underprivileged, they are greeted with sour faces by the privileged people. So that very fact that he was poor and he was begging for food and shelter every time, that is why he was greeted with sour faces every time. The next question is, why did he knock at the door? So this question asks us, why did the peddler knock at the door? The door was of Crofter's home. Why did he go there? The Crofter, the peddler, he knocked the door of the Crofter's house because he wanted a place to stay for night. He wanted a place where he could spend his night because it was so cold outside. He wanted shelter, he wanted warmth, and he wanted food. That is why he knocked at the door. Which word in the passage means trudging? So trudging, it means walking. So this word means walking. Why did the old man greet him happily? So the old man greeted the peddler happily because, first of all, he had no man, he had no wife, he had no children, and he didn't have any family whom he could spend his days and nights with. So that is why he was so welcoming. That is why even when he saw a stranger, he welcomed him in his house. And this was a change for the peddler himself because usually he was greeted with sour faces, but now suddenly a man greeted him happily and welcomed him in his house. The next extract is, but although his guest was now so well groomed, and it ends with, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. Acquaintance is a colleague and a formal relationship with someone. So if someone is your acquaintance, you have a formal relationship with them. Less than formal, but more of a formal relationship, more like colleagues. Question 1. Why did the ironmaster not seem pleased? So the ironmaster, obviously he didn't seem pleased because now he had found the reality of the stranger that he had brought home. That stranger was not his old comrade. Maybe he was a thief, or he was a murderer. He could be anyone, but in reality he was the peddler who had stolen Crofter's money. That is why he was not pleased. He was not pleased because of the fact that he had brought a stranger home and not his comrade, not his friend. Who was his old acquaintance? Now the ironmaster's old acquaintance was Captain Niels Roof. When he was in army, he became his acquaintance. Now he mistook Niels Roof for the peddler when he was sleeping in the iron mill. That is why he was so persistent on bringing him home, because he wanted to show him that he can take care of him and he'll provide him with good facilities. If he had been another stranger, he would not have done that. But because he mistook him for Niels Roof, he brought him. He was so persistent on bringing him home. Next question is, how did the ironmaster react when he found the truth about the peddler? So obviously the ironmaster was very angry, and he warned him that if you do not leave my home now, I will hand over you to the sheriff. Because he had made a mistake, and he was angry because he mistook the peddler for Niels Loof. That is why he was angry. So this anger, it came out on the peddler. Another reason being that the peddler hadn't told him the truth. He was not Niels Loof. That is why the Iron Master's reaction was of anger. We come to know that he was very what can we say? He was very pissed off when he found the reality of the peddler. Next extract is, when at about 10 o'clock we drove back from the church, and it ends with, I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. So the first question is, why did the girl hang her head low? So the girl we are talking about in this question is obviously Edla. So why did Edla hang her head low? She hung her head low because she knew that she had persisted on making the stranger stay for a night at her home, and the stranger was none other than a thief who had stolen the crofters' money, and this could be possible that he could steal something from their home too. They would be left with nothing. So she was disappointed because of her own interpretation of the stranger, because of her trait of being over friendly and kind. That is why she hung her head low, because she knew that she made a mistake. She had let in a thief in her house, despite of her father being against it. The next question is, yes, that was a fine fellow you let into the house. What did the Iron Master mean? So this sentence, it tells us that the Iron Master is making a sarcastic comment towards Edla, that yes, it was a fine gentleman that you let into the house. ये बहुत ही अच्छा इंसान था जिसे तुमने घर में रहने दिया. This is obviously a sarcastic comment, because obviously he was not a fine fellow. He was a thief and who had escaped because he had stole Crofter's money. So the Iron Master meant that it was Edla's fault that he let that thief into the house. He was basically making her realize that mistake. So the next question is, what was the Iron Master worried about? The Iron Master was obviously worried about his silverware, his silver spoons, and that is why on the entire way back to home, he was only cursing Edla that what type of man you had let into the house, and I wonder now how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. He was only worried about his things. He was only worried about his valuables that he had gathered over the time. Now the fact that they had left a thief in their home without any supervision, so all of this would be stolen by him. That was what the Iron Master was worried about. He was worried about a burglary that would be conducted in his absence. The next question is, who was admitted in the house by Miss Williamson? So Miss Williamson, that is Miss Edla, she had admitted the peddler, that is the rat trap seller, into her house just because this was her father's orders. His father had mistaken the peddler to be his old comrade, that is Niels Loof.